To the top of the second inning. As Florida left the bases loaded back in the top of the first. Meanwhile, Valdosta State left runners on second and third in their half of the first inning. Two teams played to a 6-4 Blazer victory in game one, but both teams left a lot of base runners in those games. West Florida left 13 base runners, including the bases loaded in both the first and ninth innings. Meanwhile, Valdosta State left 10 base runners in that game. Michael Tomlinson, the DH, is going to lead things off and take a strike from Nick Fogarty. Tomlinson hitting .237 on the season. As I said, he did not play in the first game. He'll hit a ground ball here to second baseman Mark Overstreet, who will easily throw him out for the first out here in the second inning. That'll bring up the first baseman, Corey Dominic. Dominic 1 for 4 back in the first game. Was lifted for a pinch hitter late in that game. He'll collect a hit here as he'll single through the left side of the Blazer infield. So now West Florida 1 on with 1 out here in the second inning. Leo LaMarche is going to be the batter. LaMarche was 2 for 4 back in the first game. Saw his batting average go up from .234 to .243 on the season. If you're listening on the radio, just want to remind you we are webcasting once again. Great students under the leadership of Bill Muntz and Video Services, as always, doing a great job webcasting our events. They'll be busy next weekend. I believe it's 4 graduation services they have to webcast. We get a throw over to first. Fogarty comes to the plate, bunt shown, pitch sails high, ball 1. One ball, no strike count. 1 out here in the top of the second inning as throw again goes over to first base to keep Barber close. Barber on the year is 11 for 6. Excuse me, that's Dominic on first base. Dominic 3 for 5 in stolen bases. And he's taken off this time. And LaMarche's going to single into right field. Dominic will come around and be at third base. Good piece of hitting there by Leo LaMarche. And that'll take us back to the top of the order, and Tay Larry. Larry doubled his first time up in this game. Now 4 for 5 on the day. Larry and LaMarche both went to the same junior college. Wallace State. As Larry shows bunt here and will foul it off. They're two that have caused VSU a lot of problems in the last 2 years. I remember them from last year. Looking at them today, they are combined 7 for 10 in the 2 games. This throw goes over to first base. Fogarty checks the runner, comes to the plate. LaMarche, the runner, is going to take off. He will be thrown out on a hit and run attempt there. did swing through. We're going to get Mike Jeffcoat's going to come out and argue call. But LaMarche will be thrown out 2-4 on the caught stealing. And that's out number 2 here in the inning. No 2 count now on Larry, as Nick Fogarty just needs to bear down and retire this batter. Very dangerous batter. Here comes the pitch from Fogarty. Called strike 3, and he is out of the inning. So once again, West Florida gets a couple runners on, but a caught stealing and a strikeout in the inning. We're through 1.5, no score. You're listening to Valdosta State Baseball on the Blazer Radio Network. Christian Glisson's going to lead things off for Valdosta State here in the 4th inning. We've talked about all the categories, mentioned all the categories that Christian leads the conference in, mentioned how he pretty much tops in everything. Well, here's the proof. First in batting average, first in slugging percentage, first in on-base percentage, first in hits, first in doubles, first in home runs, first in total bases, first in hits per game, first in doubles per game, first in triples per game. As he takes a ball low, first in home runs per game, first in runs batted in per game. As I said, pretty much every offensive category. He's 1 for 1 in this ball game and takes a ball high here for ball 2. The 2-0 pitch to him, swung on, a ground ball to the second baseman who has it, and will throw Glisson out. That's going to bring up Cameron Graves, who's 0 for 3 on the day. 0 for 1 in this contest as he struck out looking back in the 1st inning. First pitch to Cameron, called strike 1. A 1 pitch to Cameron Graves, 1 out here in the 4th inning. This pitch will miss low, ball 1. One count now. Next pitch to Cameron's going to sell outside, ball 2. Cameron with good power. He's got 7 home runs on the year. If he were to hit one now, it would be all him. Is looking at the flag in outfield. There is no wind whatsoever right now. Next pitch to him, misses low, ball 3. Of course, Cameron is tied with Bryant Heyman, who's on deck for 2nd on the team, 3rd in the conference in home runs. And the 3-1 pitch to Cameron, swung on, ground ball to second base, and it's going to go in between his legs for an error. So Cameron doesn't get a hit, remains hitless on the day, but he's on base as Brian Heyman comes up. Brian also hitless on the day. Valdosta State has to have these 2 batters hitting to be successful. Bryant, the DH, here in this 2nd game, just like he was back in the 1st game. He'll catch tomorrow. Takes a fastball on the outside corner here. Of course, with the injury early in the season to Glisson on his throwing arm, Glisson was able to bat but couldn't throw. Bryant started 30-some-odd games straight behind the plate. So now with the Glisson healthy and able to catch once again, showing good strength out of his arm. As we've seen already today, he's thrown out 3 batters, 3 base runners. able to give Bryant a little bit of a rest and allow him to DH and not have to catch so much. Save his legs a little bit, allow him to recover a little. This pitch to him swung on, hit high in the air to left center field. The left fielder Larry's back. This ball is out of here. The 8th home run of the year for Bryant Heyman puts Valdosta State ahead 2-0, and that was pure power right there. He hit the ball high in the air. Didn't think it was going to get out of here off of his bat. But it just continued to carry. As I said, that's pure power from Bryant Heyman. That's one thing our coaches talk about with the young man, just how powerful he is. Ryan Nolte now will be the batter. He will look at a strike on the first pitch. Bryant Heyman with his first hit of the day. It's a big one as it puts Valdosta State ahead 2-0. Nolte gonna swing through the next pitch, and he's behind the count, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch misses outside to run the count to 1-2. And Nolte's going to strike out looking here for out number 2 in the 4th inning.
Third baseman number 16, Austin Lawrence.
Austin Lawrence going to take a pitch inside for ball 1. 2 outs in the inning, but Valdosta State on the 2-run home run from Bryant Heyman has taken the lead. Lawrence will swing here, hit a ball to the second baseman, who fields it and throws on to first for the 3rd out. But the Blazers get a pair of runs. We're through 4 complete. VSU leads it 2-0. You're listening to Valdosta State Baseball on the Blazer Radio Network. To the bottom of the 5th, Chaz Bagwell's going to lead things off for Valdosta State. Bagwell struck out looking back in the 2nd inning. One of 6 strikeouts on the day for Jake Stevens. Stevens has only given up 3 hits in the game, but one of them a 2-run home run off the bat of Bryant Heyman is the difference in this ball game. Here comes his pitch to Bagwell, and it'll miss high, 1-0. Bagwell watches this one sail inside, high. Ball 2. Bagwell's got his average up to 303 now on the year. So he had 2 hits in the first game. Going to get some action up in the West Florida bullpen as Bagwell shows bunt but pulls it back for ball 3. Got several players down there. We'll see if we can figure out who's going to start throwing. Bagwell taken all the way here. Looks at a strike on the inside corner. It's going to be number 34, Ben Bridges, who starts to warm up for West Florida. Now the 3-1 to Bagwell, who once again shows bunt, pulls it back, takes a strike, and the count is full at 3-2. Bridges, who begins to loosen up. He's only appeared in 2 games this year. Pitched 2 innings, walked 1 batter, hasn't given up a hit. As Bagwell strikes out swinging. Good piece of pitching there by Jake Stevens, who fell behind the count. 3-0, fought all the way back to strike out Bagwell, his 7th strikeout of the game. And Stephen Groves is going to be the batter. Groves 0 for 1 in this ball game after going 1 for 3 back in the first game. He'll take a strike. Oh, 1 to Stephen Groves. Dropped in there for strike 2. And now Jake Stevens is ahead in the count. 0-2. As he looks for his 8th strikeout in this ball game. Next pitch misses just outside, ball 1. One-two to Groves, called strike 3. He is retired on strikes. And that's the 8th strikeout of the game for Stevens. And they'll take us back to the top of the order in Buster Jackson, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts in the game. Buster has a 4-game hitting streak on the line, as does Stephen Groves. First pitch to Jackson misses outside here. One thing Buster's been doing, he's been hitting the last couple games, but also been drawing a lot of walks. This pitch to him is swung on and hit foul. Very patient at the plate. Those walks really what got his hitting jump started. Pitch to him here, fastball for a strike. And he's behind the count, 1-2.
Come on, Jake. Come on, Jake.
This pitch is going to bounce up there. That'll even the count up at 2-2 on Jackson. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the 5th inning as Jackson swings, just gets a piece of it to stay alive. The pitcher Bridges no longer throwing in the bullpen. Evidently, the West Florida coaches like what they've seen this inning from Mr. Stevens. Jackson's going to foul that pitch off to stay alive. The count will remain 2-2.
Right here, 1-4, kid. Here we go. Let's win it right here. Here we go. Run away, kid. Slide out now. Here we go.
We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Valdosta State leads it 2-0. This pitch to Jackson just misses inside, ball 3. And the count will be full.
Come, Jake, come back.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th. The pitch is going to bounce up there, and Jackson is going to draw the walk. Keep the inning alive. That walk, the 16th of the year for Jackson. As I said, a lot of those have come here lately. Had a game a couple weeks ago that he drew 3 walks. Jackson's taken off. He will steal second base as the pitch was outside there to Overstreet. Jackson now 5 stolen bases on the year. He's 5 for 5. And a 1-0 count on Mark Overstreet. Pitch to Overstreet will stay high, and it's 2-0. And once again, Bridges is going to get up and start throwing. So it's been an active inning for him as he started to loosen up. Set down. Now he's back up, and we're going to get a visit to the mound from Mike Jeffcoat, the West Florida head coach.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Valdosta State softball team defeated Alabama Huntsville and West Alabama today in the conference tournament to earn a spot in the Gulf South Conference Tournament Championship tomorrow at 12 p.m. against Delta State. Congratulations to the Blazers. Also be on the lookout as Blazers softball has the possibility of hosting the regional tournament next weekend. The regional softball tournament is set to start next Friday and continues through the 5th and the 6th. You can find updated information about Lady Blazers softball and all other sports at Valdosta State by logging on to vstateblazers.com.
Now the 2-0 count to Overstreet. It's taken outside, ball 3. Listen to the announcement there about the softball team winning. As you may have heard, there is a chance Valdosta State will host at least the first round of regionals. Right now, you'd have to say there's a very real chance they'll host regionals, and if they win that, the super regionals, as Overstreet fouls this one off. Keep up to date on everything going on with Valdosta State Athletics at the official home of VSU Athletics on the internet at vstateblazers.com. And that's vstateblazers.com. Official home of Valdosta State Athletics on the internet. Overstreet's going to pop this ball up. It'll be caught by the right fielder for out number 3 here in the 5th. We're through 5 innings. Valdosta State leads it 2-0. You're listening to VSU Baseball on the Blazer Radio Network. We're heading to the 6th inning. Nick Fogarty's back out there on the mound. Fogarty in this ball game has thrown 64 pitches through the first 5 innings. 64 pitches, 42 strikes. This is what was expected out of Nick Fogarty when Valdosta State signed him. Of course, had the broken hand earlier in the year that really slowed him down. But he will face up here the heart of the West Florida lineup as Dustin Salmon's going to lead things off.
Leading off the right fielder, number 6, Dustin Salmon.
Salmon 0 for 2 in the ball game, did reach on an error. He will stand in there now and take a strike on a curveball from Fogarty. Next pitch to Salmon, hit deep into left center field, but Buster Jackson with good speed gets over and makes the catch. And there's one away. That's just the second fly ball out for West Florida in this ball game. The other one came to end the first inning. Meanwhile, this pitch is in there for a strike. Meanwhile, there have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Next pitch to Connor is also a ball. This pitch to him in there for a strike, and it's 1 and 2. There's been 9 ground ball outs, including a double play in there. And there's been 3 strikeouts. 1 pop-up on the infield, so only 2 balls as far as outs have left the infield. West Florida does have 4 hits. At least one of those was an infield hit. This pitch misses low, ball 2. Got the lights on as the shadows start to cover the field. This ball is going to get through, but no. Mark Overstreet showing good range. Chaz Bagwell immediately saw he wasn't going to get there, so ran back to first base. Mark Overstreet, basically where Bagwell would normally stand. Bagwell wasn't guarding the line, picks up the ball and throws out O'Connor. And that'll bring up Josh Huggins. Huggins 0 for 1 in the ball game. He's been on base both times. As he takes a couple of balls there. Drew a walk in the first inning and then reached via an error in the fourth inning. Raced on a double play. He'll hit this one foul out of play. And it's a 2-1 count on him. This time Huggins is going to single up the middle for the 5th hit of the game for West Florida.
Let's go, get it with 2. Let's go.
And that'll bring up Blake Barber, who's 0 for 2 in the contest. A fly out and a double play. Looking at Valdosta State tennis, they were down 2-1 after doubles play. Meanwhile, they lost the first set. 5 of the 6 as this ball is hit into left field. Cameron Graves goes over, jumps up, makes the catch for out number 3. So a couple hard hit balls, but Valdosta State outfielders there to make the play. We're through 5.5. The Blazers lead it 2-0. You're listening to Valdosta State Baseball on the Blazer Radio Network. Christian Glisson's gonna lead things off for Valdosta State here in the bottom of the 6th. Before he does, she's probably not listening, but some of her friends will be. I'd like to say congratulations to former Valdosta State volleyball player and athletic department employee Amy Finolia. Amy had a baby boy last night. First child for her and her husband Jake. As Christian Glisson fouls one off here. Christian's behind the count, 0-1.
Come on, Jake.
Leadoff batter here in the 6th inning. Next pitch to him, and they're called strike 2. Next pitch to Christian's going to miss outside, and it's now a 1-2 count on him. Christian will foul this pitch off to stay alive. Christian going to bounce this one to the first baseman, who feels the ball just before it kicks foul and steps on first base for the first out. That'll bring up Cameron Graves. Graves 0 for 2 in the ball game. Reached via an error and scored the first run back in the 4th inning. VSU Tennis is now down 3-1. As I was saying, they dropped the first set in 5 of the 6 doubles play. Or excuse me, 5 of the 6 singles matches. Next pitch to Cameron, a little cue shot. Pitcher has it, will throw Cameron out for out number 2. And that'll bring up Bryant Heyman. Heyman with is the only offense thus far in this game. A 2-run home run his last time up. And Bryant gonna swing at the first pitch here, right at the shortstop. And it'll get by him for an error. That'll keep the inning alive for Ryan Nolte. Going to have a pinch runner. It's going to be number 6, Alex Smith, entering for Heyman at first base.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Pinch running for the Blazers, number 6, Alex Smith.
Important possible third run out on the base pass now.
Now batting the right fielder, number 20, Ryan Nolte.
And Ryan Nolte's going to stand in there. 2 outs in the inning, a runner on first base. A throw over to first to chase Smith back. Pitch to Nolte, cold strike 1. Stevens, the pitcher, up to 90 pitches now in the ball game as Alex Smith takes off. It was a throw out, and Smith is going to be thrown out.
Let's go.
2-6 on the putout. That's the end of the 6th inning. We're heading to the 7th and final inning. Valdosta State leads it 2-0. You're listening to Valdosta State Baseball on the Blazer Radio Network. We're heading to the bottom or top of the 7th inning. Valdosta State leading this game 2-0. This is a 7-inning game. Nick Fogarty will be back out there looking to get the complete game. Nick's only thrown 76 pitches thus far. He's going to face the bottom of the order here for West Florida as designated hitter Michael Tomlinson fouls off the first pitch. Tomlinson looked like he hurt himself there. Spun all the way around on the swing. Next pitch to him will miss low, ball 1. Next pitch to Tomlinson, swung on and missed, strike 2. The Blazer tennis team now down 4-1 to Barry. This pitch is going to, he will strike out swinging, but a wild pitch is going to allow the runner to reach. And we're going to get a pinch runner for him. Pinch runner is going to be number 3, Ryan Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, pinch running, number 3, Ryan Day.
Meanwhile, Corey Dominic is going to be the batter.
Number 9, Corey Dominic.
Pitch to Dominic, fastball low, ball 1. This pitch to Dominic lifted into right field. Ryan Nolte came on, now he retreats, catches the ball, and there will be one away here in the 7th inning.
Second baseman, number 20, Leo Lamarche.
That's going to bring up Leo Lamarche. Has been a thorn in the side for Valdosta State today. Lamarche, 4 hits and 6 at-bats. Marshy entered the weekend batting just .234. now batting .256 as he takes a strike here.
Come on, Leo. Come on, now, let's go. Want to hit.
And Marshy again is going to single as he hits that ball over the head of Mark Overstreet. So now 2 on with 1 out here in the 7th inning. Valdosta State. Not much room in this game. They only lead it by 2 runs. Tay Larry, another thorn in the side of Valdosta State, is going to stand in there. Larry 1 for 3 in this ball game. Doubled in the 1st inning. Larry, a speedy base runner. He takes a strike here. Be hard to turn a double play with him. He's got great speed. 32 of 37 in stolen bases on the year. Now the 0-1 pitch. Will miss outside, and it's 1-1. Next pitch is going to bounce up there. Good job of blocking it by Christian Glisson, and it's 2-1. West Florida has Bobby Parker, their closer, warming up in the bullpen. Hopefully Valdosta State will not face him, as this pitch is fouled off by Larry, and it's 2-2. Say hopefully VSU will not have to face Parker. 20 games this year, 13 saves, a 0.75 earned run average. This pitch here, chopped foul over the West Florida dugout. And the count will remain 2-2.
Come on, Tate. Here you go, Tate. Here you go. Right here, Tate.
This pitch to Larry's going to miss inside. Ball 3. Piece of bad luck. Leadoff batter here in the inning. Tomlinson struck out swinging, but the ball bounced away. Christian Glisson unable to track it down in time. Larry's going to strike out here. That would have been the 3rd out of the inning and the ball game. Instead, there's still a batter coming up as Andrew Rodriguez steps in. That pitch was low, but Larry unable to lay off of it. Here's the pitch to Rodriguez. It'll miss outside, ball 1.
Come on, A-Rod.
1-0 to Rodriguez instead of spin to second base. Trying to keep the runner close. Just worry about the batter now. Fastball in the outside corner here, strike 1. Seen Nick throw so many curveballs today. Curveball is what he's missing with now. His fastball is what he appears to be getting across. He'll throw another one here that's fouled off out of play. And he's now a strike away from recording the complete game.
Come on, Rod. Go, Rod.
1-2 count on Andrew Rodriguez, center fielder for West Florida. The pitch to him, and he will strike out swinging on a high fastball. So Valdosta State sweeps the doubleheader as Nick Fogarty, great pitching performance, will get the complete game and earn his second victory of the year. Valdosta State sweeping the doubleheader today, winning the first game 6-4, the second game 2-0. With the sweep, Valdosta State will improve to 26-16 on the year, 14-8 in Gulf South Conference play. And Valdosta State now assured of being no lower than the 5 seed in the upcoming Gulf South Conference tournament.